Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today, a model launched back in 2016. This is the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore Diving Chronograph, reference 26703ST. 42 millimeters in diameter. This is a 300-meter dive watch that is also a chronograph and happens to be a Royal Oak Offshore. So 42 in diameter by 15 thick, two different ways to measure it across the wrist. Lug-to-lug, just the case, is going to be 54 millimeters. But if we include these intermediate end links, the plots, the total rigid distance across the wrist is a beefy and intimidating 58.2 millimeters, but don't be thrown by that. It actually wears a little bit smaller. A lot of that's down to the wonderfully flexible diver style strap and the fact that the lugs do have an inherent angle to them. So let's throw it on my wrist. I'm going to zoom out, give you a better sense of perspective. My wrist, 16 centimeters in circumference, and that actually wears fine. I would say if your wrist is my size or larger, game on. This will wear on a wrist of 16 centimeters circumference, and it's probably thinner than you think it is, especially with the sloped bezel. It should slide underneath a jacket or a sweater cuff, no problem. Maybe even a few dress shirt sleeves, just not the tightest or most exotic of cuffs. Of course, this strap, which is known informally as the diver strap, actually started as a dive option in the 2000s on the offshore dive models. In time, many fit them to their Royal Oak offshore chronographs, and so Audemars Piguet has begun to offer them across the range. But here on a dive watch, you see it as AP originally intended. Now we have molded strakes and character lines here, a sort of frosted finish to give it a little bit of surface tension and detail so it doesn't look like a cheap, flat, shiny strap. It's a very expensive strap. We have a little bit of a continuation of the lug bevel down the edge of the strap itself, so attention to detail here is strong. We have a buckle that includes a little bit of polish, a little bit of brushed satination, and then on the bottom, a little bit of media blast. It's steel like the watch itself. And this being a diver, I like the use of a strap so you can quickly change the sizing if you wish to wear it over a suit or some sort of diving appendage. Taking a look in profile, we have ceramic shoulders for the crown, and that's both crowns, for the internal unidirectional rotating bezel, and also for the crown that winds and sets the watch. Now we also have ceramic triggers for the chronograph, and if you look carefully you can see all these ceramic pieces have been differentially finished. So we've got a little bit of a polished bevel around the edge of the pushers, which is a nice contrast to the satin, and then we've got the shoulders for the crowns, which you can see have polished outer faces, and then their facets in profile are satinated. Of course, hexagonal, matching the hexagonal bolts in the bezel. Gerald Gent designed the first Royal Oak back in 1972. Emmanuel Guet, a young designer, launched the first Royal Oak Offshore in 1993, and it was designed to be a more aggressive, sporting, modern, larger Royal Oak. Genta hated it, but in time the market came to love it, and so both Genta and Emmanuel Guet's reputations and stories are inextricably tied to the Offshore. When Genta designed the original Royal Oak, this rounded octagonal bezel was inspired by vintage diving helmets, and so the use of the hexagonal bolts in the rounded octagonal bezel is another element that goes back to 1972. The quality of the metalwork and the finishing, where you have brushed and polished facets and sharp breaks between them, a big part of what you pay for when you buy a Royal Oak or an Offshore. A lot of hand finishing to get these details done right. You can see there are even micro bevels on the crown guard and the shoulders for the pushers. Those little polished bevels on the edges there, very, very strong attention to detail. And the bezel gasket, which is just a hairline element, a very slight styling complement to the original Royal Oak. It's very large. It's a prominent style feature of the Offshore. We have strap fixed by screws and bars to the case, very secure. That's not going to let go. I always prefer that over a spring bar. Screw down crowns. They are 300 meters water resistant. And of course, we have that internal rotating bezel that allows you to line up the internal bezel with the minute hand, and now you've got a diving reference. So let's do a quick loom shot. See this watch in the dark. And as you can see, Not only are all three hands loomed, so you know if your dive watch is running in the depths, but you can see how the entirety of the rotating bezel is in fact luminescent. The watch includes a dial that is the Grande Tapisserie. It is a hobnail that is super large, and of course there's a Grand et Petit for the standard Royal Oak and the Jumbo. This is the Mega. Now we've also got applied indices, and as you can see, broad hands that are easy to read with a high contrast. There is no date on this dial. Many people prefer that type of symmetry and unbroken simplicity. Taking a quick look at the registers, you can see we've got our running seconds, then we've got our minutes register. The watch does feature a vertical clutch chronograph module from Dubois de Praz. I believe they call this the 3841 module on a 3124 Audemars Piguet in-house automatic base. But the advantage of the DD module is that it has a vertical clutch, so there's no stagger or extraneous motion to the seconds hand when you start it all up. The AP base movement features a hacking seconds function, so you can stop everything and synchronize it to a reference time if you wish to do so. And you can see all of that, well, you can see the base movement, I should say, through the case back. And features, well, it's got a 22-karat rose gold rotor featuring the coats of arms of the Audemars and Piguet families, reminding you that AP since 1875. The oldest Swiss watch brand, still owned and run by founding family members. And then we've got ceramic bearings, or at least ceramic ball bearings on a steel race. It's a hybrid ceramic bearing for greater winding efficiency. It is a bidirectional winder because they didn't want the unweighted whiz or rattle of unidirectional winder. They didn't want anyone confusing it with, say, a 7750. The movement features 59 joules. It's got a full batwing style balance bridge with a free sprung Gyromax style balance. Those features allowing for great shock resistance. And the watch with a 3 Hz beat rated as a 50 to 55 hour power reserve, and like I said, lots to love. This is a real diver, 300 meters water resistant. Yes, I know 300 meters and 1,000 feet are not directly convertible from one to the other. Press the I believe button. Everyone in the Swiss watch industry does that. And if you'd like to do this on your wrist, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.